Hello learners, welcome to Learn to Empower. We are looking into the series of ethics. In this particular video, we will be looking into the fourth unit that we talk about emotional intelligence, concepts and their utility, application in the administration and governance. We are going to look the topic of emotional intelligence in this particular video. What is meant by emotional intelligence, how this will be useful in the administration, why it is important to understand the emotional intelligence of the individual, and what is the purpose of the emotional intelligence in the administration, and how it will lead to good governance at the end of the day. We are going to look in these aspects in this particular video. Right. The first of all, let's understand what is meant by emotional intelligence. It is very simple to understand what is meant by emotional intelligence. Each and every person in this world have certain kind of emotions, right? If you understand, there are two types of words that are clubbed together. One is emotional, second is intelligence, right? Emotional part which talks, it is very dynamic part, right, which we cannot measure. And human beings have different kinds of emotions, which includes fear, which includes anger, irritation, frustration, etc., right? These are the emotion. These are boundaryless, right? At the end of the day, these are boundaryless emotions, because we might feel anger as well as frustration at the same time, right? We might also feel two or three emotions at the same time, happiness and joy, right? We feel these emotions without any having a limit over it. But when it comes for the intelligence, we can measure this intelligence. There is one basis of measuring intelligence, that is IQ, right? Intelligence test or IQ test, whatever it might be, that it can be measured. Now intelligence can be achieved by many ways, like reading the books, understanding the academics, and traveling across the world, talking to the people, etc. We get the this intelligence. But emotional intelligence are the two different criteria that are clubbed together to form and to form a concept here. So we need to understand, there are many experiments that have been conducted before to understand the what is emotional intelligence. There are many thinkers came to understand and given the database or given the sort of research analysis for the emotional intelligence. They say that the person with having a lot of emotional intelligence compared to the IQ, right, then that person will be achieving more in their life. That is been said already, and they were proven with certain data. Let's understand why a person who is having the more of emotional intelligence will have a success in their life rather than a person who is having a high IQ, right? Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand and manage and use the emotions of oneself, as well as the use and understand the other people emotions as well. This creates what? This creates interpersonal relationship. It will lead to overall a beautiful understanding of human values, which can help the administrators or the human being to navigate the emotions and build a strong relationship in the society. Now let's understand the concept of emotional intelligence. What are the aspects that it includes? First is to understand emotional intelligence, that you need to aware about your own emotions. That is, self-awareness is more important. What kind of person you are, whether you are a short-tempered person, whether you are a person who is getting irritated very soon, okay, whether you are a patient person, right? These kind of understanding is required to understand the other people's emotions. When you understand your own emotion, definitely you will have a strong base for understanding the other people emotion. The next aspect is the self-regulation. Even though you have emotions, now how to regulate this emotion, right? For example, you are getting anger at somebody at very short period of time, then how to control this? You are getting emotional, you are getting tears in your eyes by seeing certain things. Then how do you assess, how do you control yourself becomes the more important here. How do you handle your stresses and remain composed in the particular challenging situation is very important, because if you are strong enough, your team will have a strong spirit of understanding and working in the a team within you, right? Next, understanding your emotions, regulation of your emotion leads to the motivation. Now how do you motivate? The ability to motivate your team. For example, you are the person in charge of handling the some stressful situation, which includes the fire department, which already the building it has been under fire. Now the people or the workers you are seeing, and they are going inside the building, coming and getting the bodies. You should understand the gravity of the situation there. How do you motivate the person who is working under you to still go and help the people who are in the suffering, right? Because he's seeing the person's life burning alive. Then how do you achieve this emotion? When you understand your own emotions, then you regulate this emotion, then you put this in the motivation and you motivate your team. The motivate will definitely definitely work in a team spirit. Next, when you don't have the empathy, then you certainly don't understand what kind of emotion that other person is going under. We have already seen in our previous video what is mean empathy, putting yourself in one's own shoes and understanding the perspective of that person and how he is facing that particular situation is important, right? Now when you put yourself in other shoes, you will genuinely able to concern and genuinely able to give the right solution to the person who is under the stressful situation. Now this will leads to one important, that is the social skills. Social skills is nothing but the emotions that you understand, that how do you communicate that social skills and conflict resolution, that will lead to what team building activity, and when the team building activity is done, your team will be motivated. The next, utility of the application of emotional intelligence. Where we can see this utility in the administration and governance, let's look. A person who is having a good emotional intelligence, definitely he is an effective leader. When a person is effective leader, he can he can create a trust and motivate the team members and handle the stressful situations. Definitely a person who is having the high emotional intelligence, definitely he is a good leader. You can see the most of the leaders in the medieval India or the modern India, that the effective leader is able to understand the emotions of the masses. When the emotions of the masses were understood, they were able to put that masses emotions in the right direction, and they could able to achieve success in the whatever the things they were doing. Now this will lead to what conflict resolution we have seen. For example, you are the district magistrate or some leadership position. Obviously, you are working under a team. The team members will having a conflict. Then how do you assess the team members emotional intelligence and come to a conflict situation or conflict resolution where you have a win-win solution? Win-win solution in the sense that the solution should also be in a compatible manner, that both the people who are in the conflict should have a compromise. Then this will lead to effective decision making in the society. Definitely, as a leader, person who understands the emotion will certainly make a rational, well informed choices and well informed decision making, right? Next, definitely this is a team building and employee engagement. Then this will lead to crisis management. Effective administration will have effective crisis management leader. Then comes your public relationship and communication. You can able to communicate to the public very effectively, which includes you can cater to the public concerns. You can have a for example, a area or a district where under the stressful situation, either it because of floods, either because of the drought, then without understanding the what is the ground reality of those people, then how will they able to we give the solution to the people, right? So the stakeholder engagement is very important to understand what problems is faced by. We need a bottom up approach is needed rather than the top down approach. Okay, now the next some of the examples, let's look into the utility. Now first example that we have seen in the real life, that during COVID times, how the leaders or the doctors or the administrators etc were able to provide the vaccine treatment to the people, and the people who are suffering, and the rations how they were given. The people are migrating from North India to South India, South India to North India, how they are able to provide this channel. The COVID time was a very stressful situation, and the our administrators are handled it is very neatly and quickly, and we are the largest country to go for the mass vaccination of the people, and that too in a very successful scale. Now second, conflict resolution and community development. For example, you are allowing a developmental activities taking place in a tribal remote area. Now the tribal people are protesting for the particular industries not to come. Then how do you assess yourself that understanding their own empathy, what are the resolutions will come up that both the industrialists as well as the local community people will benefit out of the decision you are making? That is where the emotional intelligence kicks in. When the emotional intelligence you will have, then definitely you will have a win-win situation. Next, employee engagement and motivation. We have seen in the last slide that how the administrator will be able to effectively communicate his ideas to the people, and it will create a healthy environment in the administration. Otherwise the environment becomes toxic, which the people will not able to work in the particular situation. Next comes the effective communication with the public. Whenever the public are in anger, or when the public is not satisfied with the administration, then understand the situation. The administrator should possess the communication skills and empathy in conveying the message to the public, right? Now whenever the mob is attacking, or mob is having of tendencies to attack the people who are working on the ground, especially the police administration etc, then how do you assess the situation? Then how do you put yourself that what made these emotions to kick into the mob? Then how do you assess to have a empathetic solution towards the particular situation? The same goes with the next, stakeholder engagement and policy making. Stakeholder engagement, very simple, that you need to engage with the people who are in the ground reality, right? right? The people, local community people assessing, getting their ideas in there. For example, the farms bills were passed by the government, right? And it also withdraw the the primary allegation that were put by the people are that the farms bills, the three farms bill were not consulted by the by the government with the right stakeholders, that is the farmers, right? Now this will leads to what? Emotional resilience in the administration, that you people who are working in the administration will have a resilience towards the problem that has been taking place, and you will channelize your emotions in a proper direction. By this slide we are coming to end of our fourth unit, which is a very simple unit and very short unit, that is regarding emotional intelligence. In the next video we will be looking into the other part of the ethics, right? Till then, take care. Thank you.